I just need one last line. One look from you is more precious than gold. Let's go get some barbecue and get busy.
You're a plagiarist.
No, Mama. I like people of all colors.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Will's father is a deadbeat who left him and his mom flat.
Wait a minute. How are you going to afford a house like that?
I have discovered a unique method of savings. I never spend my own money.
How far apart are the attractions?
Every 10 seconds. Heart rate. Steady. Systolic and diastolic normal.
Cole, where'd you get that from?
Me and Mom's was watching Doogie Howser last night.
Name 2 Barry Manilow songs.
Copacabana and Mandy.
Copa, Cabana, and Mandy?
You know, we have a lot of expressions in the English language.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
What are we talking about?
Where'd that come from?
Most all of us use them every day.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means.
You know, we just say them as if they really made sense.
I mean, how silly is that?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
What the f is he talking about?
Yo, what is good, everybody? It is me. You know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Appraise show, origins of everyday expressions. It's me, Mario, in the building. 20 is in the building behind the shades. What's good, brother?
Oh, no, man. Everything's good, man. You know, I'm in the Sunshine State, so I got to keep something in my eyes.
I remember when it was very cool to know the names of like the states. Like my
like
state was this, the nickname, like what's on the license plate. I remember when I was so cool, you know what I'm saying, to know. So I actually rock with that very heavy. You are from the Sunshine State, in the Sunshine State. Where is that exactly?
Oh, Miami, but you know how it is, man. It's Miami, then it's everything North Florida from Miami.
We ain't did that in a while. We ain't emphasized your Miami background in a good minute, man.
Oh no, man. Yeah, you know what it is, bro. I can't wait this season. Like I said, this season's gonna be a great season, man. I say it every season, but I think this is gonna be it, bro.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. How's the kids?
Oh man, still bad, but they growing. So
bad like Michael Jackson bad when you say.
Oh yeah. Not bad mean bad, but bad mean good.
Exactly.
That's a old school.
Word. All right, man. Let's get into the show today. Season 4, as you all know, I'm going to say it pretty often just to remind the folks that are only listening, the folks that can't see while they're listening, was good. It's good to see you. But we're back into it, and I'm excited to bring out one of our guests that I met earlier in the year, and I'm like, yes, this is the type of thing I want to share with the world. These are the type of people I want to share with the world. Creatives, doers, you know what I'm saying? Like can pierce that fourth wall, you know? So without further ado, I'm going to bring out American actress from Dallas, Texas, Shandalyn Wortham. Hold on. Oh, what's good? The crowd said what up? The crowd said what up? Shan, what's good with you? How you feel?
I feel good. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me out. It's always great meeting new people, finding out what others do outside of what you do in life. So it's always great. And I had a pleasure meeting you in New York. It was very, very fun.
It was fun.
And now a pleasure meeting 20.
Yeah.
Man. We gotta connect that triangle. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Connections, they matter. Relationships, they matter.
They matter. They really do. Shan, we're gonna call you Shan because we friends now.
That's what it is.
Tell us more a little bit about your acting experience. What brought you into it?
So I took theater for 1 year in high school. I went to North Mesquite High School and then transferred to Lancaster High School. Some people say Lancaster. Here in Dallas, Texas is Lancaster, Texas. But
I know, right?
my interest started there. My interest started there. But I didn't start to fully pursue it until 2018. Honestly, it was a spark that just was like, you know what? I want to get back into it. And my first audition was for a production company called Watts Production, who I have now been able to be a part of their TV drama series, Frame of Reference.
Great series.
So I have a supporting role, and we are on the different platforms, Roku TV, Amazon Prime now, and also Tubi.
Hey.
So it's 8 episodes. I'm glad to be in 5 of those 8 episodes. So it's amazing. And it's just been kind of moving from there. Right?
Over
I think that was the Tubi fans. Those are Tubi fans. Those are the Tubi fans for the Tubi movie fans right now. That's getting geeked.
Absolutely. Hey, Tubi's on the come up.
It is. They flying. They're flying up the charts in terms of like.
Absolutely.
Being inside living rooms, being on people's devices. I gotta say, like, I love your role. You be talking sense into old girl who's a little bit more. She got a little more feistiness to her. You know what I'm saying? But rightfully so. Yes. Rightfully so. I won't give too much. Y'all got to go watch Frame of Reference. But like, you know, it's good. Black representation, great writing, great acting. So yeah, go check it out.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Of course.
Other than that, in my everyday 9 to 5, I work in ophthalmology. I work with eyes. My main part in ophthalmology was first in glaucoma. Mm-hmm. And here for this past year and a half, going on 2 years, I'm now in retina. That deals with more of diabetes, macular degeneration, things like that. So I'm a clinical manager now. I have been in ophthalmology since 2003.
Yeah.
So I kind of worked my way up the ladder. Started out as a receptionist, became a technician, and now I'm a manager. So
there you go.
That while being a
single mom. Do that?
Single mom. My son is 18, just graduated this year.
Right.
So I did it. I raised a whole human without strangling him. No.
Bad like Michael Jackson.
Again, right. Bad like Michael Jackson. He's a good kid. He didn't give me much issue. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Prayed over him and laid hands on him before he even came out. And I was like, listen, we're not having all these problems. You will not be the stereotypical black male. We are going to succeed and move forward. So Absolutely. He's been amazing.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I love it, man.
That's me.
Thank you. One more time.
Yes.
One more.
Yes.
Yeah, one more time. Yes. All right, y'all. We got more to go. You got, if your hands is ready, crowd, we got more to go. So I was excited to get you on the episode 1 because, like I said, like all that you do, all that you've done, it's in putting creatives in a space to have good conversations, share more of their stories. So I found a phrase that I can't wait to get into. So today, well, first of all, we're here typically to unveil the origin, confirm the meaning, assess the value of common phrases. So the phrase for today is a broken clock is right twice a day. Broken clock is right twice a day.
I heard that on a movie I watched. I can't remember what movie it was, but I just heard that literally like maybe a week ago.
Word. See, it be in the things.
It's just intentional.
Hey, so let's get into first before we get into like meanings, definitions, origins, and facts. Let's like just talk a little bit more about our connections to the phrase. So, 20. Your connection, your feelings on a broken clock is right twice a day.
I would say this. It's one of those things. I feel like it's one of those phrases that you say when you really not trying to give credit to something. You get what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things that you say to somebody that you really not trying to give credit to, but you have to give credit to. Like it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to say you're right, but you're right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 9 out of 10 times you're going to be wrong, but I can't believe I'm in front of you for that 10th time that you're right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. 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 I'm with
You know what I'm
that.
saying? Like one of those situations is like, but you're right this time. And I feel like that's kind of like the emphasis when somebody says it. It's not like a good kind of like, it's not too positive. I don't think it's a too positive type of phrase. I think it's really more of a, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Heard that.
And that's all I have to say about that.
All right. Shane. Oh, yes. Shane.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
We have fun here.
We stepped up in here.
I love you.
Yeah. All right, Shan, you tell. I'll round us out at the end
Okay.
of my opinion. But Shan, you tell her what's your connection, what's your feelings on that phrase.
I'm kind of on the same page as 20. I think it's like a shade, no shade kind of thing. Like it's. I mean, hey, a broken clock is right at least twice a day. I think it's somebody that's always maybe like throwing out just wild stuff, and every now and then, like it makes me think about Cole on Martin when he did Rental Spoons, right? And, he always had these crazy things, but every now and then something is right. So I'm kind of with Tony on that. It's okay. I give you that. That little bit of rightness. I give you that one. So I agree. It's some shade to it. It's
a little shade
to it.
A little shade.
But I agree. It's one of those. I don't really want to give you your props, but I'm gonna let you have it this time. I think it's those.
And that's all I have to say about that.
That's real.
Hey, Shan, before you start quoting Martin now, don't we got a show to get through because we'll do the whole show.
I'm with you.
Don't tease me.
We'll just digress it out. You feel me?
We'll digress this whole show.
Right. Be like, wait, what were we talking about?
Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna be cool because I listen.
We gonna give them the soup for free.
Absolutely.
And then we go rhythm spoons.
Rhythm spoons.
Yo, that's it. Matter of fact, we say that to say if you need to digress, please do. For me and my connection to my thoughts on a broken clock is right twice a day. I'm tracking with both of y'all. I'm with both of y'all talking about. I'm gonna take it from like it's being told. I don't really say it a lot because I don't have a problem with the messenger. I'm not one of those people. I don't have an issue with the messenger, so I don't caveat that with by saying that. But I do notice people say it when one of your faves did something decent, and you don't want to show no love because they not a fave. You already done broke them down. You already done cut them at the knees so many times.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I actually peep the people that say it and I'm looking at you kind of like, oh, you have an issue with hearing the right thing, no matter where it comes from. So that's kind of how I look at it. I've never been told it, and I don't really say it. But if someone did tell me, I would take it all bad.
Yeah, that's not
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
No, you're right, Mario. I feel like I've heard this one so many times, but I don't think I've said it, and I don't think pretty much people said it to me. I've heard it in conversation about people. You get what I'm saying? Oh yeah, such and such did this, but why? Well, right twice a day, so
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, I get it in a format wise, but it's normal day.
Nah. Yeah, you got to inject that in there.
Right.
That's why the shade part is I'm not taking that as any type of respect because you're finding a way to take away from the right thing you just heard or seen.
Right.
You going to spend your energy on that. So
right.
Absolutely.
But I don't want to lead too far. All right.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Okay. Let's get into I'm buttoned out, by the way. We got more coming. I'm buttoned out. Plug-in out. I got a new one. 20 don't know because I always do this without checking in on him. But we're gonna confirm the meaning of a broken clock is right twice a day.
And in 8 bars, I'll explain that phrase.
Oh yeah, thank you, Kenny. Here come the 8 bars, y'all. So, yes, I didn't tell him about Forrest Gump in season 3, and now Kendrick Lamar is also a surprise.
Enough.
All right, here we go. So the meaning of broken clock is right twice a day. So I found 2 dictionaries. We'll say it as often as we have to. Merriam-Webster's is a brand of dictionary. There's a bunch of brands of dictionaries out there. And so we try not to rely on just one. I found 2 that we've never had before on the show. One is the language and usage exchange. I found one of the definitions from there that I thought was good to use. And they say that a broken clock is right twice a day means no person is ever wrong about everything 100% of the time. That's what language and usage exchange dictionary says. Now, to balance it out, because we can't just go with what they say, freedictionary.com, usually we got dictionary.com. They didn't touch it. They didn't touch this phrase. So freedictionary.com, which we're going to see how reliable they are, they said a broken clock is right twice a day means even people who are usually wrong can be right sometimes, even if just by accident. All right. So what we do, man, these meanings, let's pair them up. Let's pair them up. So, Shan, I'm gonna start with you.
Okay.
Which meaning do you think captures the phrase best between the 2? Which one you rocking with between the 2 so far?
I'm a rock with Free Dictionary. Yeah. I like the way they put that. Just plain and simple, straight to the point.
Yeah.
Just straight shot, no chasers.
No chasers.
Yeah.
Which is like, I ain't seen a chaser in a minute. And as I get older, I'm like,
right.
Please put a chaser in.
Yeah, hey, especially when they start to charge for them chasers.
Right.
Just give me the lick.
Like, you know what? Just give me that. I don't need all that.
You gotta snatch it off the bar.
Yeah, right.
Offended. 20. Where you at, man? Which one you rocking with, bro?
All right, I'm rocking with Free Dictionary, but I will say this: what did it say? Pushing language and what?
Language and usage exchange dictionary.
Okay, language and usage exchange. I feel like that one gave it more of a positive vibe. I'll be honest with you. Like you could kind of, I might be reaching, but it gave more of a positive vibe than like a hope vibe, as in a, yeah, bro, like you're not going to be wrong all the time. You feel me? Like, it's not really throwing shade. It's actually saying, man, giving you hope that at least twice a day you're going to be right. You feel me? Like you may feel like you've been wrong for 23 hours or 22 hours or even 21 hours. But there might be 2 times in a day where you're going to be, you feel me? Like, it might be right. So, that's why I feel like free dictionary is more leaning towards it on how the world sees it.
Yeah.
But if you're a optimistic type person, I think the first one would be a little bit more your swag.
Yeah, no, I'm with you because no person is ever wrong about everything 100% of the time. Is very much like dapping you up a little bit, or at least
a pick you up.
A sturdy handshake. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then, but even it's the thing I like about free dictionaries. They start off with even people who are usually wrong, even them, they can be right sometimes, and then they say it even again, even if it's just by accident, even if they ain't mean to with their wrong ass, with their. I'm like, damn, freedictionary.com.
Straight to the point.
I'm telling you, like, okay.
Hey, Sharon, what we do is here is we take the definitions and try to see if the road it was black or white. For some reason, I don't know why we've been doing that, but since it has nothing to do with anything. It has nothing to do with anything. But me and Mario like to take the definition and realize, like,
it's some
black person that said that. That's not like a black person that said
that. People say, like, if you think about it, the first definition versus the second one, that first one is like, well, you know, where you got to just put a little sugar on it. So here's what we're going to do, right? You know, here's like, listen, okay? So
Who auntie that is on Free Dictionary? That's
Exactly.
That is on Free Dictionary. Who auntie that is?
Exactly.
Kids, auntie. Who come get your kids, auntie?
Come
That
get
is.
your kids. You better come get your kids. Okay. Hey, man, let's get into the origin of this. I like where we're going. Let's get into the origin.
Where'd that come from?
That give me time to scroll. On the pad. All right, y'all. Shout out to Conda. Shout out to Rello. Shout out to 20 on the decent little song there. Okay, so the first little origin fact, let's take it back to 1711. 1711, the 1700s. Yeah. That's where the earliest match for this phrase appeared. It appeared in the Spectator, okay? The Spectator magazine, to be specific. And the Spectator magazine is quoted to say, "Did they keep to one constant dress, they will sometimes be in the fashion, which they never are as matters are managed at present. If instead of running after the mold, they will continue fixed in one certain habit, the mold will sometime or other overtake them, as a clock that stands still is sure to point right once in 12 hours. So that's where it first came from. Not like how we know it, but as a clock that stands still is sure to point right once in 12 hours. Because that's, you're talking about science right there. So dude that said that was Joseph Addison, all right? Joseph Addison and Richard Steele founded the Spectator magazine. Both were significant literary and political figures, and scholarly reprints in later years identify Addison as the author of that. So it was credited to both of them, but over time we found out like Joseph Addison said that. Now, the Spectator also had many readers in the American colonies. In particular, James Madison read it as a teen. So like this is how respected the Spectator was. It said that it had a big influence on him and his worldview, and it was lasting throughout his long life. So he believed what the Spectator was selling for most of his life. Ben Franklin, that guy, he also was an avid reader. Hey, man, it's something about Big Ben I don't trust outside of the fact that he didn't invent nothing.
I just can't trust him.
I just can't trust. It influenced his style in his Silence Do Good letters. So I've never read the Ben Franklin Silence Do Good letters. I might now that I've did a little bit of research, but it influenced Ben Franklin. Let me keep going with Joseph Addison. Anything y'all got with that? Any thoughts?
Oh, do I have some shit to talk about Ben Franklin, or are you talking about what are we talking about?
You can always say I can always make room for a quick shot at Ben Franklin if you got it. If you got a quick arrow for that guy.
Okay, real quick. But the Silence Do Good letters shows you what type of sketchiness Ben Franklin been on. Like I just let you.
Oh, so you know? Bet I'm definitely gonna Pete.
Bro, listen, you have to people. You know, my coming to it with those letters is actually National Treasure, which is an actual great movie with Nicolas Cage, and and they reference that in those. They reference it in the movie, so it's like got me interested in kind of like seeing if this was a real thing, and it's true, it really was a real thing. And this thing of Ben Franklin was about that identity theft, really.
Big Ben identity theft. All right, let's talk about Joe Addison. I do not like Ben Franklin, and I don't like that he seems like, oh no, that's Alexander Graham Bell. I don't like him either. Anyway, Joseph Addison. His childhood friend, Richard Steele, they started the Tatler, and Addison combined and contributed 42 essays to the Tatler. That was the first thing that Richard Steele published. Richard Steele was the one with the bread, okay? Richard Steele wrote 188 essays for that magazine. Even though Addison helped a little bit, Steele remarked, when I once had called him in, I could not subsist without dependence on him. So he was like, hey, don't trip. I know I'm writing most of the letters. I know I'm doing most of the work. But my dog Addison, I can't do nothing without him. So the Spectator began publication on March 1st, and it continued being issued daily, and it achieved great popularity until about 1712. And it exercised influence over the reading public of the time, and Addison soon became the leading partner of it. And that's when he turned up, contributing 274 essays out of the 635, and Steele wrote 236. And then Addison assisted Steele in starting The Guardian, which is alive and well today, which began in 1713. And Addison is the originator of the quote, "Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body." And that quote can be found in the Tatler. So he came up with that quote. Of course he would, because read my magazine. It's good for you. Even though I agree with the statement. I'm not saying that's a bad quote. Let's see. Okay, so Addison's also popularized the Addisonian termination, where prepositions are stranded in the grammatical construction that ends a sentence with a preposition. So, do y'all remember in school when it was like you can't end a sentence with a preposition? Do y'all remember that at all? A little bit. Well, Addison said, "I will." Every time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let's take a step back.
Okay.
Shane, I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want to reference the scenario and usage in Addison's excerpt. Where have you ever felt like you had moments where being still would get you in the right place? Since being still, the clock being still, not even moving, gonna be right at least once every 12 hours. Have you ever felt like you have a scenario where you felt like being still was gonna get you where you wanted to go?
I will say yes in regards to my acting career.
Okay.
I'll use that. There are a lot of people that have that mindset in acting, like is this, is that, go, go, go. You gotta, audition for every casting that's out there. I don't really agree with that. Because I have learned since 2018 over these years to kind of dissect if they're giving you like what the synopsis is of the casting. I don't just jump at everyone. I used to when I first started acting. It was like, okay, just apply for this, apply for this, apply for this. But I think just kind of being still and watchful and mindful of what you're auditioning for or even applying for. Prime example, I did I submitted for this one casting on Actors Access, and it was, I forgot the name of it, but from what they gave of the character, I was like, okay, it's pretty cool. And then they gave me the sides so that I could self-tape my audition. And it started talking on the lines, but very sneaky, like it was almost kind of like demon like talking in spirits and whatnot. But I would never saw it in the actual casting. It wasn't until I got the sides that I was like, well, this is too sneaky. And I don't do anything that deals with, exorcist stuff like that.
You don't play them games.
Leave me with the dramas, the romance, and the action.
You ain't
right?
invite those into your home. You don't be
Exactly. Like that stuff is real. On any day and in any situation, I just don't mess with it.
Yeah.
So I say that to say, a lot of us when we first start out, we're just eager and we're putting in for anything, but you literally just have to be still, be mindful, and just watch sometimes. And I think that's what I love about men and women who sit and observe, before just jumping right into a conversation or whatever. They kind of observe. So I say, I really have learned as I've gotten older, just sit still and just wait. There's nothing wrong with just waiting, and then that timing will come, So yes, I've had that experience several other occasions, but that's the most recent thing that comes to mind when you talk.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's real. Though. That's real. We can kind of, 20 and I experience that often when it comes with like to the brand and like in the show and like even guests. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you take on every guest or take on every opportunity and like
have everybody?
Yeah, sit down.
Yeah,
right.
Times where we were like, man, we need to hurry up and grab somebody for the show, and then Mario would be like, well, we could just do it ourselves. And it's like in that moment where it's like not trying to rush and grab somebody and, go against schedules and stuff like that. And then we end up doing a show that we wanted to do with somebody by ourselves, and it ended up being a great show. So it's like in a format, you can kind of sit here and say, not just being still or like you broke, but just taking your time to actually, like you said, like look and learn and
absolutely
and observe what's before you make that move. I think that's always great. I think that's always great and something that a lot of people should kind of like do, especially if you're a person that just reacts.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Practice that stillness, bro. Practice
yeah, bro. That stillness for somebody that just reacts. That stillness is everything.
It is.
Right.
It is.
Absolutely.
Word. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's keep it moving. Where this phrase went next from 1711 in the Spectator mag and Joseph Addison to 1809, Diedrich Knickerbocker published A History of New York from beginning of the world to the end of the Dutch dynasty. That's the name of it. A History of New York from the beginning of the world to the end of the Dutch dynasty. The 2-volume history was comical and satirical, and the actual author was Washington Irving, who later achieved fame with The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Rip Van Winkle.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah. And this is where I got excited when I was doing the research. So the dude that this phrase, Washington Irving. Now we gon' anyways, in the proverb that Washington Irving wrote in the History of New York from beginning of the world to the end of the Dutch dynasty from Diedrich Knickerbocker, Washington Irving wrote, "The clock that stands still and points resolutely in one direction is certain of being right twice in the 4 and 20 hours, while others may keep going continually and be going wrong." I know. I said, Irv. Okay.
That's kind of like what we were speaking on, though.
Yeah, exactly. He turned it up and like, hey, not only is stillness can be good for you because you are guaranteed in the clock example, you're guaranteed to land in the right spot twice, but some folks be ticking and just going the wrong way. So real quick, before I get into Washington Irving and bigging up this dude, better story, 20. Both of y'all answer, but I'm starting with 20. Rip Van Winkle or The Legend of Sleepy Hollow? Which one better to you? Which one you rocking with?
You know what? Like, I want to go with, since this would say Sleepy Hollow, but Rip Van Winkle was, bro, like if you actually like read it, not on a sense of, damn, I got to do a book report or I got to do it in school, but you actually read it to like enjoy it, man. That's a really, really good story, bro. That's a really good thing, man. So, damn, dude, I didn't know he wrote both. I guess I didn't know the author like that. I never really kind of got the author like that. Yeah,
you
man.
Gonna Rip. Okay.
I'm gonna Rip, bro.
How about you, Shan?
Listen, 20 said book report, and I had a whole flashback. I hated book report.
Yeah, for what?
Trust me, I hear that.
But no, I like Rip Van Winkle talk. Also, I like that one better.
Yeah, and I like to point out what 20 pointed out. Like Legend of Sleepy Hollow definitely got all like the clout. You know what I'm saying? Like every movie, like a lot of adaptations. But you know what I'm saying? But I think the reason for that is Rip Van Winkle is hard to capture on screen, dog. Like that would be hard. Like it's such a good story and so intense that would be hard to capture. And it may be hard for an actor to even. Yeah. All right. Thanks for entertaining me. Let's talk about Washington Irving though for a second because I think it's important based on how he said the phrase and what else he's done and why like we say it anyways. So Irving is largely credited as the first American man of letters. He's the first to earn his living solely by his pen. He's the first ever person to make money and earn a living off of writing. He's the first American writer to set his stories firmly in the United States. Even though he like took stories from German and Dutch folklore, he's generally credited as mainly having his stories operate inside the United States, the first of his kind. He's also credited as one of the first to write in the vernacular and without an obligation to presenting morals or being didactic in his short stories. So basically, he wrote stories just for entertainment. He didn't have no message behind it. He wasn't trying to enlighten nobody. I just want to tell me a good story. He was the first. Credited as the first to do it consistently.
And then Mark Twain came into it.
Exactly. Then Mark Twain said, I'm going to do it better. But I'm going to add sprinkle a little more racism. Edgar Allan Poe, though.
Which is my guy.
That's your dude? Well, you might be in conflict. Yeah? Well, he felt that Irving should be given credit for being an innovator, but that his writing itself was not sophisticated. And Edgar Allan Poe said, Irving is much overrated, and a nice distinction might be drawn between his just and his surreptitious and adventitious reputation between what is due to the pioneer solely and what to the writer. So basically, like, okay, he cool for being first,
Yeah,
but he ain't cool for being the best.
They not like us. You know what it is? Because
he made 2 appearances, Kenny, man.
yo, because Edgar Allan Poe, bro, like his work. Thank you, Kung Fu. He did, like, his work is more like in depth, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like it's more in depth.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Like just like perfect example, bro. Like Kenny and Drake, bro. It's like yeah, you know, you make music that pacifies. No, I ain't gonna do that.
You ain't gotta do it, but you did it.
They said it was enough. They said enough's enough.
They said enough's
They
enough.
said enough's enough. So I ain't gonna bring it back. But y'all know what I'm saying, bro. Y'all know what I'm saying, dog. You feel me? Y'all know what I'm saying, dog. You feel me? Y'all know what I'm saying.
Yes, thank you, Tony. Let me keep going with Irving because he actually got him open. Thank you. And I did not know that you were a Poe fan like that. I learned something.
Huge.
Man, okay.
House of Usher, guys. House of Usher on
beautiful,
Netflix.
Beautiful adaptation of his writing. Beautiful. Irving popularized the nickname Gotham for New York City. He's credited for inventing
You know I'm a Batman guy too.
Exactly. So I told you you're gonna be in conflict if your boy Poe said, but he's also credited for inventing the expression "the almighty dollar."
I thought it was the OJs.
They brought it to us.
They brought it to us. Oh yeah, they brought it to us.
They brought it to us.
They brought it to the cookout.
The surname of his fictional Dutch historian Diederik Knickerbocker is generally associated with New York and New Yorkers, and is found in New York's professional basketball team, the New York Knickerbockers. He basically named the Knicks. Washington Irving basically named the Knicks.
Wow.
One of Irving's most lasting contributions to American culture is in the way that Americans celebrate Christmas. In his 1812 revisions of A History of New York, he inserted a dream sequence featuring St. Nicholas soaring over treetops in a flying wagon, an invention which others dressed up as Santa Claus. He gave us, because like we don't know the world without like Santa in the sky. He gave us that in 1812.
Bro, you know what's crazy about that is that nigga, nobody would even know about that. Like the fact that this dude is like really, he's like on some Forrest Gump shit. Like,
yes, bro.
Small little innuends that he's actually like putting in the world. And nobody even realizes he's putting these in the world that till this day, people still, till this day. Half of the world didn't even know the Knicks' full name was Knickerbockers.
Yes, and now they know again.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah. So I got a question for y'all again. Is Irving Washington overrated, or is Poe being Kendrick?
I would like to start. I'm sorry, Shan.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and start this off, Shan. Poe's definitely being Kendrick right now. You feel me? Like, Poe's definitely being Kendrick because everything that Big Dub, I'm calling Big Dub.
You got to call Big Dub for what he's done.
Big Dub for what he's doing. For what he's done, Big Dub put a lot of things on the map, helped a lot of people, man. And it's like, the crazy thing about that is that it helped people's imagination grow.
Yes.
You feel me? Like when you can give something that helps imagination grow, like you got to give the credit for that because it wasn't too complex that people didn't get it. And it wasn't too simplified that everybody got it. It was just one of those things that expired. So it's like, if you can find that happy medium, that's when you know, like you have something timeless.
Yes.
And I feel like that's really what he's been giving out, timeless things that everybody can branch off and kind of say, you know, I can build my own. I think Poe was really on his Kendrick shit, but you know, like I said, it's more perspective. But he definitely was not overrated for everything that stuck.
Thank you. Cool, Shan, where you at? Thank you, bro, for that reality.
Got you.
Listen, I got to vibe with 20 again. It's just Poe He had to say all that. He had to say all that.
To call them all that.
You gotta do all that.
Pull them to
He
the
had to
side.
say all that, man. You could just, yeah. It
Yeah.
goes with the phrase.
It do. It do go with that.
And I guarantee he probably said that shit about 4 times about once.
Exactly.
I guess a broke clock is right twice a day. Shit.
I mean,
New York Knickerbockers, I guess that sounds good.
Oh my God.
All right, I got a question for you though, Shan, and then Twin, you could jump in. But where you at with Irving's use of the phrase though? Like if you stand still, you have a chance at being right instead of constantly moving in the wrong direction. Like, and I want to emphasize the moving in the wrong direction part. You feel what I'm saying? Like, where you at with that?
That stuck out for me in a sense of I'm gonna take it as like following the crowd, right? I gotta use this prime example. For us as African Americans, if we see somebody taking off running, where you running to? Like, where you going? Do you know what you're running from? You could be running to the wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Instead of, you don't want to observe too long because it just depends on the situation. But yeah, sometimes you could be going the wrong way. You could be doing the wrong thing. Again, if you just stop, be still, observe the situation or whatever it may be. Just stop, be still, and observe it before you decide where you're going and what you're doing. Right. And it may not necessarily be in the direction that everybody else is going. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I like it. When you said it, it stood out to me because it's like, that's a great way to look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
else is doing this and going here and, I'm going to do this to get this up and get my bag up here and da-da-da. And it's like, yeah, but it's getting your bag up and you getting it up illegally or legally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things like that. You can't just follow the crowd. Be still, figure it out, and then move. Instead of just reacting, like we said earlier, just straight reacting before observing and thinking it through. So
absolutely. Word.
I get it.
That where you at with it, 20?
That's exactly where I'm at with it, bro. I'll be honest with you.
My dog.
I ain't out here trying to freeze up. I think that's exactly where it is, right on point.
My God. All right, let's get it rolling. We doing good. We doing good. Let's get these last little points out for this phrase before we can get to today. So Charles L. Dodgson, also known as Lewis Carroll, constructed a set of magazine-like manuscripts for his family members. One series called The Rectory Umbrella included a counterintuitive comparison of the accuracy of a stop clock versus slow clock. Please walk with me here, because when I read this, I was like, hold up. This discussion was reprinted decades later in 1898 in the Strand magazine in London. So he says, which is the best? A clock that is right only twice a year or a clock that is right twice every day? What would y'all say?
I feel like I get tired of a clock right every day.
Which is like best though, right only once a year or right twice every day? The latter, right?
Yeah, the latter, bro. Yeah,
very good. Yeah. So he says, I have 2 clocks. One doesn't go at all, and the other loses a minute a day. Which would you prefer? One doesn't work at all, and the other one it loses a minute of accuracy once a day. I mean, loses a minute a day. Yeah. Which one would you prefer? To have a clock that don't work at all, or one that like loses a minute every day?
I'm a little stumped on that one.
Yeah, man. That's a really good question. I'll say. Yeah, that's weird, bro.
All right, well, let's say.
Because nobody wants to lose a minute,
right,
in your time.
That's where I am.
It's like I don't want to lose a minute, so I'd rather not be aware of the time as opposed to knowing that I'm losing time.
That's real. Well, the losing one, without a doubt. Now observe, the one which loses a minute a day has to lose 12 hours or 720 minutes before it's right again. So it is only right once in 2 years. whereas the other is evidently right as often as the time it points to comes around, which is twice a day. So a clock that is not working is still better than a clock that loses, because it will only be right once every 2 years, as opposed to a clock that's not even moving will be right twice a day at least.
Yeah, because when you gave out minutes, I was like, wait a minute.
I know it go. Them boys had time. The math.
700. Hold on, give me my minutes back.
Okay. So last one is in 1877, Lippinscott's magazine of a popular literature and science published an article, A Queen of Burlesque, by an author that no one knows. The proverb was used during a discussion of morality. I am afraid that my too intimate acquaintance with all sorts of people has blunted my moral sense, so that I am incapable of distinguishing, as I should do, the good people from the bad. Or may it be that no one is wholly good or wholly bad, that everybody is like the clock which never goes, yet is certain to be right twice a day. Where y'all with that? Like, are you closer to like no one is wholly good or wholly bad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or do you or do you like do you believe like there are good people and bad people?
You know what? I would say I believe that one is only because like you really don't know how people are when you're not around them. You get what I'm saying? So like it's not a definite answer when people are around them. Only person I felt like that had to be like that was, my favorite person in the whole world, Mr. Rogers. Like I felt like I just felt like, you know what I'm saying? Like and even in that situation, like I still yearn to find out that he you know what I'm saying? Like he had a moment where he had to put his hands on somebody. You get what I'm saying? Like even in that, I really want to find that out, but I haven't. But it's just like that's why those urban legends about him are just so like intriguing, because like here's a person who had that persona on and off the camera that always had to have that persona of a particular person. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And then like to see that everybody after him who has tried and failed, and there's really hasn't been one person since then that you can actually be like, oh, you have to be like this person, you should be like this person. It's just like I feel like that right there gives more of a testament that you can't be just one side. It has to be something of both. So.
Got you. Heard that. All right, Shane, I got a question for you. Well, really, this is for both of y'all for real, but Shane, you can start. Take me to a time where you discovered that someone you thought was horrible, was no good, down bad, showed you something good in them. Or you can choose someone who you really believed in and thought was like the coldest, the best person ever, and they showed you some bad in them.
I'm gonna go with the latter.
Okay.
Just because I don't draw like horrible people.
Heard that.
I'm going to go with, and this is it's probably the wrong time to go with this, but I grew up in church, right? So from like 11 years old to probably 30, I was with one church. And the pastor was he didn't walk on water, but I felt like he was guiding us, giving us the right information, this, that, and the third. And then boom, some stuff hit. And I was like, what? So it pushed me into a learn God for yourself kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But most people who are in church, who are really about church and they make it their world in their life, which I did at one point when I was younger, you put those pastors on a pedestal, right? Where we shouldn't, but we do. And after finding out some things, and it was devastating. It was heartbreaking. And because I was older when I found out at the time, disgusted. It's just like, wow, like you're supposed to be a man of God and you cricket, dude, you cricket. So I can say that's probably the most relatable.
And it impacted y'all relationship in what way? Like what was the result of that shift?
Oh, I don't even go to that church anymore.
Got up
I
out
haven't been in years. Haven't been in there years. Now if I see him on the street or something, like it's hey,
Okay.
you know, I don't despise him. Like most people, I run him over in a car when I saw. I'm not like that.
Yeah.
You know, some people are like that. You know, they just ready to, you know, as they say, on sight. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that's too much energy. I don't hate him. I've forgiven him. But I don't attend the church anymore. I haven't. I think I've went back for maybe like a couple of funerals because a few people are still there. But other than that, I'm just like I don't want to be under that
You ain't trying to feel that.
roof.
You ain't trying to feel that.
Yeah.
Heard that. Heard that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. 20, you got one, dog? You got one either side?
Nah, not really. To be honest with you, most of these things is just like people falling from grace, and it's just like I said, I don't really give people that much grace. I give
That's
Mr. Rogers
real.
that
You
grace.
really
I give Mr. Rogers that grace, bro, because you know what I'm saying. I gotta believe in something, but other than that, dog, nah, man, nah.
Word. Well, we reached that. That's where it stopped. That's where we got it. It's stuck there. It's stuck there. We reached the end. So, thank you. Let's appraise this phrase. So, what we do, Shan, when we appraise a phrase, we gonna give it grades. So, we got 3 categories. Okay. Power grade, the impact when it's heard, said. Speed grade, does it flow off the tongue, and then your choice, guest preference, guest rating, however you want to rank it. It can be personal bias, it can be whatever. So it's an A through F scale. A being you can do pluses, minuses. A being the best, F being the worst. Okay. So let's get into it. 20 power grade for A Broken Clock Is Right Twice a Day.
No, I give it an A. I give it an A, man, because you know my scales, the longevity of it is crazy. You know what I mean? Just the movement of it, the fact that it didn't have to. It's been around so long, but the words is still somewhat similar. You get what I mean? It's nothing was really added to it. It's been interpreted, but it wasn't remixed. So I'm like, I think that says a lot about the strength of the actual phrase. It can go either way. Majority of the people that use it now is a little bit more on the negative side, but as you can see, it can be a positive and a pick me up or two as well. So, like I think the versatility, longevity, it got to get an A for that.
Hey, Stamp, appreciate you. I'll do speed. A Broken Clock Is Right Twice a Day. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm giving it a B minus. Because I had to keep reading it first. Yeah, I know it when I hear it type of thing. So, like, that's where it gets the strength, and you can get to it, and it can be eloquent that way. But, like, A Broken Clock Is Right Twice a Day, sometimes I have to think about what I'm saying. So that kind of slows me down in terms of its fluidity. But I think it's still, like, easier to say than it is harder to say. So, B minus on there.
Mario, I think it's that that twice a day that kind of
every time.
Because if it was like A Broke Clock Is Right, that's pretty simple. That's pretty straightforward. That's pretty, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to speed wise, but when you had to add that extra twice a day, it's like a little bit extra. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I had to take away from that. 'Cause I'm like, yeah, damn. All right, Shan, where you at? However you want to grade it for whatever reasons.
It's like y'all both. Everything y'all said, I had in my head together. The flow of it is not as flowy, you know. I don't use it often. I don't think I've ever used it, to be honest. Let's be clear.
You got a good heart.
Right. It's never been used for me, but I'm gonna say an A minus. Just because I agree with 20. It's been around, hasn't been, you know, rephrased in a different way. I think the different ways that we've heard it, it always still manages to mean the same thing.
Right.
Get to the same point. But it's probably not going to be in my everyday phrases. But now I'm going to find somebody
to say it, right? You're going to find a reason to say it. Look at her. I can tell by that finger she picking up.
Like, I'm
looking at that finger. She giving somebody.
When I do, like, I used it.
Hey, you got to let us know as soon as.
I'm gonna try not to be too shady. I'm gonna try not to be free dictionary with it. Just be like,
There you go.
Yeah,
I just meant not everybody wrong all the time.
Next week, you're going to have Auntie Dictionary on there. You got Auntie Dictionary next week.
Right.
Oh, so we said A-. Stamped into eternity. I appreciate y'all. We got one more thing, Shan. I'm passing it to my boy 24.
The Dictionary of Misinformation.
Oh, Shan, this is I can't get enough of this segment, Shan. We have our Dictionary of Misinformation, and what it's really doing is just informing you about things that you might be misinformed about, things that you might have something like set in stone, but then this dictionary gonna come and be like, you know what? That's just clay, Playboy. That's just clay. All right. So what we do is we ask our guests, give us a letter from A to Z. I believe X is already taken.
X is gone after two seasons of using this book. X is gone.
Because we have a lot of petty guests. But if you give us a letter, we'll definitely go through the Dictionary of Misinformation and grab some information from that letter that you use.
Okay. I'm gonna go with S because I love my first name.
There it is.
Open the book. 20, you might as well let Shan know.
Oh, yeah, okay. And Shan, Mario what he usually does, he goes through it. This is not preempt. He goes through, he reads it, he chuckles, and then he goes to another. So the suspense is real when it comes to waiting for what Mario's going to choose.
What is it?
Exactly, right? Like he's already read 3 of them already. Correct. Just to let you know, he's already read 3 of them.
I see him over there.
Yeah. So don't worry. It's there you go. See, look at him.
Okay, let's do this one.
Oh, you found one? Okay, all right, perfect.
Wait.
No.
Okay, no, we'll do it. So I'm choosing S, Stars and Stripes in the American Revolution. Okay. So in numerous paintings, all of them long after the American Revolution has ended, they show Old Glory, which is the flag, being flown by revolutionary troops. For example, the Howard Pyle picture of Washington and Steuben at Valley Forge. Like we know, if I was to bring it up, you know it. You know the picture. Yeah. That picture is in error because it was not until 1783 that Congress supplied Washington with any official Stars and Stripes flag. By that time, every single battle was over. So any depiction of any wars in the American Revolution that have the flag in it are lies.
Lies.
Big lies. Big lies.
Big lies. Big lies.
All right, y'all. We gonna get up out of here.
We don't like to be arguing. We don't like to be arguing. Don't be coming up on us talking about we ain't proud Americans. That's just a big
It said it, not me.
Not us. Not
all
us.
right, man. Look, Shan, I want to thank you. 20, leave him with some words.
Listen, man. If y'all out here selling these paintings with the American flag in and Revolutionary Wars, Playboy, I'm gonna need a discount.
Right.
That flag was not there.
Right.
That flag was not there.
That flag was not there. Yo, thank you.
The bombs bursting in the air.
The flag was not there. Was not there.
That flag, not there.
Not there, Playboy.
Not there. All right.
Hey, my guy, thank y'all for watching. Thank you to the listeners. You know where you can find us on the Underdog Podcast Network. YouTube for the visuals. Go to appraisethephrase.com, appraisethephrase.com/shop for some of the dope stuff we just dropped, our mental health journal, some collaborations. You know what about it. Check out Frame of Reference, Prime, Tubi, Roku. Shout out to Shan, more work to come. Amazing actors, and as you can see, beautiful mind. Yes. Shout out to what else? Google, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Apple Podcast. You know the whole thing. Underdog. Say what up. Say what up. What up to the squad. What up to our digital partners out there. Welcome to season 4, y'all. I know there's a couple episodes in, but we're going to keep saying it. Welcome to season 4. More to come. All right, man. And just remember this before you get up out of here, that value is in the eye of the appraiser.
Peace. Yeah, like